Alright, next reaction is today's is the boy who died while filming a prank for YouTube by Destiny. Yikes. This is not gonna bode well. Bro, and I heard about a dude that did a prank. He was trying to go around robbing people. What was it, a few months ago? It was like it was either in 2020 or somewhere in 2021. I don't remember. I was on a trip with my family at that time when I heard about a dude that was going around like scaring people with a knife and stuff, and he got shot by somebody. Ooh, man. Oof. Yikes. All for a freaking video. Bro, you folks out here that's doing YouTube and doing pranks and junk, bro, y'all gotta choose your pranks wisely. Cause you do something stupid, bro, it's gonna cost you your life. There's no amount of clout that is worth your life, bro. None whatsoever. So let's get into this video, see what kind of idiot did that got himself killed. Alright. This is terrible.
At Metro by T-Mobile, we know you work hard, so we make switching easy. Right now, there's 0 fees. Plus, get 4 free Galaxy phones with unlimited. Just $25 a line for 4 lines. Rule your day. The prank.
Okay. So remember, like if you like it, subscribe if you're new, hit that notification bell. Original link to this video will be in the description down below, so make sure you check it out for yourself, share it with your friends. Let's get into this video.
The prank gone wrong. A man shot someone during what police are calling a fake robbery.
Oh yeah, this the one.
I
don't really
know what's going through their heads. It's a little wild.
Investigators
I didn't really watch the report. I just heard about it.
He took out a gun and started firing, striking and killing Wilkes.
I mean, rest in peace to brother, but oof, you shouldn't have done that, G. I just heard about it from a news art. I heard about it, but I didn't like see a video. I didn't see the full report about it.
Welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys have been doing pretty good lately. You know, the world has been a pretty crazy place as of late. With that in mind, though, in today's video, I'm going to be explaining how a 20-year-old kid from Nashville, Tennessee, ended up losing his life for doing an incredibly dangerous prank because he wanted to be famous on YouTube. And honestly, this situation is incredibly sad, stupid, and could have easily been preventable if the people involved in the situation were a bit more in tune with reality. Now, we all know that prank videos were pretty popular at one point in time on YouTube and have a pretty controversial history of being fake, staged, and scripted by using paid actors to create the illusion of it being real.
You gonna show me your car? Yeah. What's up, Mr. Tough Guy? What's up? We're looking for a person in an orange jumpsuit, so just be safe going into your apartment, okay? Okay, copy that. I'm on my way. Help me.
This video is fake as shit. I staged this whole shit. Yeah, some of these actors were atrocious. However, over the years, you had some YouTubers who took it upon themselves to actually go out into the world raw, uncut, and unstaged to capture genuine reactions from ordinary people put in extraordinary situations. And some of these pranks were incredibly dangerous too, like the ones with the rich kids going into the hood and messing with people.
Hey, you look like you're trying to get sucked. Hey, chill. Hey, chill. Well, chill, bro. What's up? Cover them, bro. Cover them. Oh, shit.
Or the ones with people pretending to sneeze on other people.
I was spazzed on that dude, bro. Look, I was spazzed on that dude.
Like I haven't laughed at this shit before, you know? Like the genuine reactions from these people, not expecting to be trapped in an elevator with a presumed psycho dressed in a Halloween costume, does leave me in tears sometimes. But let's be real for a second. If you plan on going out there into the real world and are trying to replicate what you see in these videos without first taking some serious safety precautions, you're just at that point playing.
I'd rather do skits than do pranks.
And unfortunately, a young 20-year-old YouTuber whose name was Timothy Wilkes died because he and a friend decided to play this dangerous game with their lives while trying to film what is known as a robbery prank. And to be honest, I never heard of this type of prank before until hearing about this story, and it's probably because most people wouldn't dare and try to attempt such a reckless prank. Especially in a state where
try that in Atlanta, you really get messed up, man.
Timothy, however, didn't have this foresight to think of this and got shot in the chest while trying to attempt this kind of prank, and he later succumbed to his wounds. I mean, honestly, I feel bad for the kid, and it's really sad.
I feel bad for him too, but you should never try that jump.
People at night trying to attempt a prank on people who don't know you or your intentions. Like if it were me and some random dude came out of nowhere trying to rob me. And according to the official reports, it said that Timothy was wielding a butcher knife. Yeah, like those big-ass knives that professional chefs and home cooks use to chop slice of meat in the kitchen.
Man honest.
And they said this all happened around 9:20 p.m. at night.
Bro, he's doing that junk at 9:20 at night? Bro, you just asking to get shot. Look, I ain't trying to like be like no harsh dude about the whole kid dying. But he brought it upon himself. He put himself in that situation. And realistically, he should have thought about that junk. Like, for real, though. Put yourself in that situation. Someone walked up on you with a butcher knife and he's about to rob you. And you either with a girlfriend or a family member and you want to protect them. Normally, if I'm by myself, I'll either run... Nah, I would just run because I would just run because I don't want to have to get into no physical junk unless I really have to. But if I have a family member with me, I for sure would have shot that fool. Like there's no doubt about it. Any rational person would have drew their weapon as soon as they see a weapon in this dude's hand. You coming up to rob me, so. Yeah, man. I don't want to be that mean of a person, but it's being realistic, bro. You can't just go and doing pranks like this and expect people to not react the way they're gonna react. I mean, it's dangerous out here these days, bro. People rob, kill, steal all the goddamn time, and you will never know that every person you run up to could actually take your life away from you, bro. You would never know. That's why people stay strapped these days.
You know, given that context...
The kid should never done it, man. It was just pure stupid. Now he lost his life and his family is sad.
You never know what could happen. And, you know, this story really irritates me because now some naive kid is dead. The guy who shot him has to live with knowing that he took a life.
Yeah, gotta live
and
with that
Timothy's friend, who, you know, was there filming, and his family members who heard about the news are all
Okay, I'm sorry, I have to pause it again, but yeah. Now that the dude that killed him has to live with that jump, bro. Because it was a prank. He didn't have that mindset. No one's going to suspect this is going to be a prank. They're going to react the way they're going to react to a very dangerous situation, bro. Now this man has to live with that dude's blood on his hands. That's... Man, this is terrible, bro.
Traumatized.
It's scary out here.
Pointless and meaningless death. I mean, so much collateral damage and unintended consequences coming from not thinking things through before actually doing it. It's quite sad.
Maybe they was teach people not to do these dangerous pranks anymore.
Wax your board, not your balls.
And that's why Manscaped created the Lawnmower 3.0.
Okay.
Now, the shooter, which is a 23-year-old guy named David Starnes Jr., claimed that he didn't know it was a prank, and he felt threatened.
How would he know?
Prompted him to shoot Timothy in the way that he did. And I can't blame him. He was just trying to protect himself and his friends as they were leaving an indoor trampoline park in Nashville, Tennessee. And according to this article from the BBC, it said that witnesses told police Timothy Wilkes and a friend had approached a group of people outside a family trampoline park in Nashville, holding large knives. Mr. Wilkes was then shot by a 23-year-old who told police he had no idea it had been a prank and had been acting in self-defense.
That's
Mr.
self-defense.
Wilkes' friend told officers the prank had been for a YouTube video, and the source of
Yeah, they didn't know that, bruh.
It's sad. Like, imagine risking your own life to go viral on YouTube so that you can impress a bunch of online strangers who probably don't even care if you get hurt in the process of entertaining them.
For
you
real,
gotta get
bro.
your priorities in line. Another article from Fox 59 covering the story also said that, and this is from a witness testimony, this is like a huge kids area, and when we were in there, there were a ton of tiny kids, and it's just like, that would not be a great idea.
Ooh.
Especially if anyone was walking out here or something like that. And she's obviously referring to the prank that, you know, Timothy and his friends were trying to pull. It then goes on to say that no charges have been filed, and the investigation is ongoing. And in my opinion, when they are done and over with this investigation, I'm pretty sure they're going to conclude that this was indeed a clear-cut case of self-defense. And the person who shot and killed Timothy will not be charged for his own death. And
I
in
mean,
the rare case
he
that
can't be
he does get
charged for that.
charged,
He didn't know.
and it goes to court for some weird reason, any judge with an IQ level above that of a peanut will throw it out. Because, I mean, it's obvious that this guy, David, was scared for his life. But I'm pretty sure that it won't go that far. However, there is a person in this situation that could be charged and potentially jailed for partaking in this disastrous prank. And that's the cameraman, Timothy's friend, who was recording this whole encounter. And this is all based on some info that I heard from a local reporter in Nashville, Tennessee.
But a lawyer I spoke to says this video could mean legal trouble for that friend.
I'm sure that the people involved in this would like to characterize it as a prank, but it certainly seems to be a prank that went seriously awry.
So yeah, that guy may very well be facing legal consequences for recording this thing. So let this be a warning for all you amateur cameramen out there who work for these YouTube pranksters doing incredibly risky shit for clout tokens on the internet. And you know, there is one very important thing that I do want to clear up in this video that I believe everyone should understand before spreading any more bad information. And it's the identity of Timothy Wilkes. Now, due to some severe misinformation spread by multiple news outlets who weren't thorough enough with their research, they started using some picture of some random white kid named Timothy Wilkes. And I believe it's because they did a quick Google search by inputting the name Timothy Wilkes Twitter or Timothy Wilkes social media into the Google search bar, found some random kid who looks like he could have been the one involved in this situation without even verifying anything or even doing a proper investigation, and basically just rolled with it. And meanwhile, these news organizations are getting paid thousands of dollars off of using the wrong person.
Wow.
And I'm just over here shaking my head at the fact that I'm the one who has to come out and correct their fuck-ups. And the funny thing is, I have yet to see any corrections or retractions from these hundreds of organizations spreading misinformation. And I wonder why. Maybe it's because they don't actually care about the situation and are only in it for, you know, the money. In any case, though, I did find this other Timothy Wilkes' Twitter, and after clicking on his most recent tweet from 2015, the mom of the wrong Timothy Wilkes came out and said, "Listen, this is an old picture of my son, and he doesn't even have Facebook anymore. He doesn't do social media. This picture was when he was 15 years old. Please don't believe this mess. He is alive and great. He hates drama, and so does my family. Please stop circulating this. I don't know if this happened to another Timothy Wilkes, but they are using my son's picture, and he is alive and doing fine. A family member could see this and believe it. It's not my son. Thanks." And this was straight from her Facebook page, Betsy Wilkes 7. And not many people have seen this. Like, the millions of people who have seen this story so far still believe that Timothy Wilkes is a white kid. And in another post she made just after learning about this situation, she said, "Y'all, Timothy is okay. He is alive and well. He hasn't ever left Marion." And Marion being in reference to a small town in South Carolina. I've had several people text me and PM me, and his friends have reached out. Also, his picture is circulating saying he died, but he is alive and okay, and has not been in Tennessee. Tennessee being the place that this prank/crime took place. And all I can figure is someone with his name died and they stole his picture. Well, the person who died didn't steal the picture. It was actually the stupid-ass news organizations, you know, who just being dumb.
That's wow.
She then then goes on to say, I think it was a real incident, but it is not my son. Thanks for all of those who have reached out, but this is a picture of my son. And she then goes on to post a screenshot that has a picture of her son in it, verifying the boy that she's talking about. And then upon scrolling down into the comment section, you can see all her friends and family members saying, thank God, praise God, unreal, thank goodness, and a whole bunch of other loved ones sighing in relief at the fact that it wasn't their Timothy Wilkes who got shot and killed. One person named Myra Adams said, wow, I wonder why everyone is using his photo all over social media without having facts. Another person named Joyce Bedell said, this is terrible for sure. I saw him in the last week or so backing out of your driveway. Makes you wonder why someone would do this. They probably don't even know who he is. And Timothy's mom responded by saying, they don't know him. There is a boy that did this crime, and the media is using my son's picture because they have the same name. Mistaken identity. Honestly, I think Timothy's mom, Betsy, you're just being way too nice to these news companies. This is not mistaken identity. I mean, I guess it can be, but no. I think this is just more on the side of negligence and, rushing a story to be the first one to talk about it, for those sweet ad revenue clicks. It's all about money at the end of the day for these people, so, they couldn't care less about who your son is. But yeah, you guys can clearly see the type of damage misinformation can cause in situations like this. Like, imagine actually thinking that your friend or family member, or say your mom, died in some tragic accident because they came out on the news with, a reporter talking about the story with her picture on the screen, and you're just in shock and trauma and you start crying. And then an hour later, while you're still crying on the couch, sobbing and, just a whole mess, your phone starts ringing and you see it's your mom's name. You pick it up and there's her sweet little voice. You later find out that this whole thing was due to bad journalism because, the journalist on the case found a woman with a similar name and found a picture of her and said, well, this looks good enough. Let's roll with it, boys. Chop, chop. Honestly, I'd sue for emotional damage. But, I'm built different. In any case, though, the actual Timothy Wilkes in this story that did end up losing his life, the one that these multi-million-dollar news organizations failed to get right, looks like this. What you guys are seeing here on your screens is the real Timothy Wilkes. And he was just a regular 20-year-old guy living his life and trying to make it through each day just like anybody else. He was the oldest of 3 children in his household. He lived with his family, and according to his grandmother, Shirley Berry, he was a good kid. He took his sister to prom when she didn't have a date and would play video games with his siblings. One of the most common things you would see is Timothy walking around with his younger cousins, following behind him because they just loved hanging out with him. And in stories like this, people often try to dehumanize the person they're talking about by trying to act like the mistake that they made encapsulates their entire identity when that couldn't be further from the truth. Because you see, Timothy was a college student working his way through a vocational school. And on top of that, he had been working at Walmart since he was like 16 years old. Be it at work or school, he was a soft-spoken kid. And for the most part, he was pretty chill. He was only weeks away from graduating with a diploma in heating, ventilation, and air conditioning from his trade school too. And in June, he would have been celebrating his 21st birthday. You see, he had his whole life ahead of him as well. And now his heartbroken family went from preparing to celebrate his graduation to, unfortunately, preparing for his funeral. And it seems like his grandmother, Shirley, was the one who was most impacted by his death. As she said, he was a good child, and when I got the news, it literally just took my heart out. I mean, he was a man, but to me, he's still my baby, no matter what. And his grandma used this incident as an opportunity to make her voice heard. She wants to make sure that no other family around her would have to suffer the same fate. To have to bury a child who went too far in chasing a little bit of fame on the internet. Sadly though, in this day and age, her message is more relevant than ever, when everyone with a phone has the ability to broadcast themselves doing incredibly dumb things for attention. And it turns out that she wasn't angry at the person who shot her grandson because I guess she completely understands why he did it. However, she just wanted to clear the air and make sure that people know that Timothy wasn't some common thug who was robbing people to get a laugh. She said he wasn't. He was a good child. He would do anything for anyone. And yeah, I'm pretty much on that line of thinking as well. I don't think that this mistake should encapsulate his whole identity. Like, this one mistake that ended up costing him his life should not be the thing that he's most remembered by. Despite all that though, I hope that this is a learning lesson for any of you aspiring content creators out there thinking about filming yourselves, pulling deadly pranks like this without thinking things through first. Like, I'm not against prank videos or pulling
Bro,
pranks
I
on
always
people
think about the
because they can
consequences of
genuinely be
things,
funny.
man.
But if you're gonna be
I
attempting
always
a
do.
prank for a YouTube video, you need to make sure that it's one that does not involve any weapons whatsoever. That means no guns, no knives, tasers, baseball bats, blood. You know where I'm going with this. Because if you actually take a second to think about it, the person you're pulling this prank on may not know you or your intentions and could actually end up hurting you because they think you're genuinely trying to hurt them. It's pretty simple logic, but sadly, a lot of people seem to lack it. Anyway, let me know your thoughts and opinions down below in the comment section. I always love the discussions you guys have down there. And if you'd like to support me and the content that I create for you guys, be sure to go on over to my Patreon page by using the link down below in the description.
Bro, that's not crazy, man. It's sad, bro. I do feel bad. I really do feel bad for Timothy Wilkes and his family. I really do feel bad for him. No one should have to go through something like that and will have to bury their child. That's something no one should go through, bro. That's something no one. I wouldn't wish that on nobody, bro. And see, it really does go to show. And what I always be saying in my other videos. You gotta be safe. You gotta be smart. No shame, bro. Hey, man. You got a loved one. Make sure they don't do... If you know someone that's doing YouTube, they doing pranks or junk, make sure they don't do nothing stupid, bro. Because any one of those dangerous videos they're doing, and one of the prank videos could be dangerous, could potentially get them killed, bro. But that's not crazy. Well, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like I said in the beginning, don't even need to repeat it. I'll see you all next time. Be breezy.